Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another exciting edition of Pardon Our Picks, where perfection is a work in progress. I'm your host, Sam. Alongside me, as always, the Orange Bomber, Tarek. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. We finally made it to the playoffs. We can talk about who's going to win and what's going to happen. How about you, buddy?
I'm doing great, Glad there's a shorter slate of games this week, as opposed to 16.
Yeah.
Alongside us, as always, our color commentator, Football Jesus. How you doing tonight?
Oh, well, it's another day. It's another week. I'm ready to wipe the slate clean and start fresh this week.
Why? What's wrong, Brady?
Oh, don't. It's time. It's a new year. It's time for new beginnings. Forgiveness.
Of course, with us as well is our leader, the QB coach, Jessica. How you doing tonight?
Well, I'm fantastic with this this lead that I have, but this week feels like it's been like a year long. So
okay. And of course, we got the rookie here with us. How you doing tonight?
Doing good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You ready to do these picks?
Yeah.
That's right. Fist bump. Boom. Okay. We are, of course, brought to you by Art of Our Concepts Incorporated. More than just a sign shop, and in too deep of Maryland. Catch them on February 4th at Twain's Tavern in Pasadena. It's going to be a great show. So go ahead and check them out. This week, the season ended. We know who's in the playoffs. What we don't know is who won all the individual awards. Quite frankly, there's the MVP, there's offensive, defensive player of the year, there's comeback player of the year. Heck, there's Walter Payton Man of the Year. It's all coming up. So, just got to ask, who do you guys think is deserving of one or multiple of these accolades? And we'll start with Football Jesus.
Well, I racked my mind a lot about this. We just kind of brought this up a few minutes ago off camera. And I've got to say that my MVP this year has got to be Jalen Hurts. I mean, he played a very mediocre game last year, for lack of a better term, and this year came out. Granted, the front office gave him a number one receiver, and we saw what that did to his game. I mean, the Eagles' offense played lights out until that Commanders game, and even still, the offense has been really good. If barring that injury, I think this would be a lock for him to get MVP. But considering that he missed 2 or 3 games towards the end of the season, I think it's a little bit more up for debate. But I still think, given how the offense performs when he's under center, my vote for MVP this year would go to Jalen Hurts.
Okay. What about our QB coach? Who do you think should get an award this year, and why?
Well, I was following the Walter Payton Man of the Year for a little bit, but I do think I have to agree with Brady on it being Hurts for MVP. I mean, that's a pretty stacked team all around, but they clearly play. They don't reach anywhere near their potential when he's out, and it's not just his skills on the field. I think it's his personality and his leadership, and he's one of those quarterbacks that have really ingrained themselves in that team. That's where he belongs. That's his home, and the other dudes in the field feel that. So I definitely think I would go with him. There should be some awards given out for other dudes that stepped in and made a huge impact when they weren't expected to as well. Like when you look at the Jets and their quarterback situation, or you look at what Von Miller was doing when he was playing for the Buffalo Bills. I mean, or, there's the whole Hamlin thing that happened recently, and, everybody's support and just basically what the Bills have gone through all year. So I think there's a few things that could go around. But MVP, I do back up.
Well,
Jalen.
That's actually a pretty good thing. Maybe give us fill-in player of the year that you think.
Well, I feel like Brock Purdy's going to get the most credit for that, but I don't necessarily think he should. I think San Francisco, for example, they're a really well-rounded team, and all they have to do with their quarterback is have them play pretty safe and have them just manage. based on what the coach is doing. So I would say, oof, that's a tough one.
You brought it up. I figured I'd just roll with it.
What about like Roquan Smith? I mean, he wasn't exactly a substitute, but he completely changed the Ravens when he came. So,
Sure.
you know, it was like a mid-season thing, and the impact he had, he turned the defense around. So,
So maybe you give him the award for best trade acquisition.
Yeah.
Sure. Why not? Making these up on the fly, folks. Speaking of on the fly, the Orange Bomber. What about you?
So
Any award for?
I am not as versed in all the players in the NFL as my colleagues here are. More of a generalized understanding knowledge base here. So I'll just kind of go with, and I didn't follow any of the Walter Payton stuff or anything, or too many of the rookies. So I'm just going to go with kind of like who impressed me and who kind of made a difference here. So I'm going to mention Trevor Lawrence. So he had a big fall. He was like lossless in his college career, came into the NFL with one of the arguably worst teams in the NFL. Didn't have a great year, had okay, but came in this year, doubled his touchdowns, cut his interceptions in half, went up almost 20 points in his quarterback rating, and brought the Jags to the playoffs for the first time in years. And so now they're in the playoffs and have potential to go pretty far. Like they're definitely not what I would call one of the lesser teams in the playoffs right now. So yeah, that's what I'm going with. Just someone that I think has made a huge difference and is definitely making waves, at least for some of the NFL.
Douglas Smith, the first player here.
Okay. What team does he play for?
Ravens.
He's a Ravens player.
Smart kid.
Yeah. Hmm.
Ravens.
So, if I had to pick something, I mean, he got all kinds of comeback players of the year. I mean, Geno has been hurt and behind people for years. Christian McCaffrey coming in towards the end of the mid-season. He was out last year. I mean, if I have to give it to somebody, frankly, I would give out NFC Defensive Player of the Year to Aiden Hutchinson. That kid stepped up. He's also a rookie, mind you. He stepped up this year and made a huge impact on that team, helping them to get to the precipice of the playoffs. And I think this kid is going to be special for years to come. It was funny because apparently he got an interception against Aaron Rodgers the first time they played each other.
Mm.
And they were joking about how he should have gotten Aaron Rodgers to sign the ball.
Yeah.
And if he got one during the final game, that he should get him to sign the ball. But I thought that was kind of funny, little anecdote there. But he would be my defensive player of the year. I mean, he's been phenomenal. And part of the reason why the Lions were as relevant as they were. Speaking of relevancy, let's take a look at their final standings for the year. As Jessica
Brady, is there a
plays with her
fly?
lighting.
Yeah, there's this giant like horse fly, like all over here, not in this general direction.
Come on now.
Let's take a look. Now, I was 4 games behind Jessica as the end of the season came. And of course,
Bottom.
you are on the bottom, but only because I don't have a total for you. Because the Colts gave up that Hail Mary, I missed out on tying Jessica this week.
I was over Sam's and
That's
we
not
were
the only
yelling.
reason.
We were yelling at the
True.
TV, but that like dominoed everything
Yes.
else.
That was the
Sam was
closest
yelling
one.
at the TV.
Yeah, but I also remember switched my pick for to Tennessee at the last minute.
You did.
So
And it
there are
helped me.
definitely some,
True.
some
But
things on
I
both
think
of our ends.
that was the closest game. I mean, they don't give up that Hail Mary and 2-point conversion and I'm tied with her. Tied with
Yeah,
her.
but I also
Like,
waited until a few minutes before the Titans game to change my pick. So
oh, yeah,
timing wise, I mean, that was a pretty close.
it was. It was. It could have been even worse for me.
Yep.
But as it stands, Jessica is our crowned champion for the year.
And if I was
Yeah.
a professional, I'd have
And
noises
we
and
are
sound
so
effects, and
close. And
maybe
we
I'll
are
edit
so
in.
close.
I'll edit in something after and just go like a popper or something.
Oh, maybe. If you can, sure. I figured I'd put a crown on them. I crown their butts. Because I wanted to crown them, so I crowned their butts.
All right.
So
I want to be. I
Just
want
proof.
to get a crown.
It's just proof, guys, that sometimes can't come out on top even though you swing for the stars. But I swung, I hit some, and I completely missed on others.
yeah, I can see that. That's okay though. Week 18, always kind of crazy. Let's get on to our playoff predictions. We are showing our picks up to the Super Bowl, who we got picked to play in the Super Bowl, not who's going to win. We have one more video for you for the year where we predict our Super Bowl winners. So let's get into it. We're going to start with Football Jesus's bracket. So
We
let's
should
take a look
probably
at this guy.
preface this. We should probably preface this with we're gonna try to do a Super Bowl video because we tried to do one last year and it never happened.
That is true.
So we will try to do a Super Bowl video because we got a couple weeks.
I
So
have faith that I will be able to drag you all back here for one more video. So let's take a look at this thing. Guys, what do you think of his bracket? I mean, it looks like he went mostly chalk.
let's
I
see.
mean, the reason I went mostly chalk is really
Hey, just like
a few of these
them
teams
got
I feel
a
like snuck
tie.
in.
Yeah.
And if the Buccaneers played in a halfway decent division this year, they wouldn't be in. I mean, the same with the Seahawks. They squeaked in at the last minute.
Pitch
Giants,
Posh, we
I
don't want
mean-
your opinion. I want Jessica's opinion.
I know. I'm just giving some reason.
So
I picked
I
the
am a little
Ravens.
confused at the Cowboys going to the championship game, but
I picked the Ravens.
good choice, Sammy. Good choice.
He did. That man did not go chalk.
Sammy's swinging for the fences.
That's right.
Ask Brady. It doesn't
So is
go
Brady. Yeah, I don't see the only thing that really stands out for me is first of all, I mean, also the Ravens beating the Bengals.
Yeah.
Now that's
I mean,
extremely unlikely, but I also don't see the Cowboys beating the Eagles. That's almost just as unlikely to me right now. So
well, crazy things have happened. What do you think, Tarek? How bad is this bracket?
Yeah, I don't think it's terrible. Some of these seem like hopefuls because I will say, and this is a prediction, a foreshadowing in I guess in my picks. But yeah, just some of these are ones I would have picked in an ideal scenario. But I mean,
He's got the 2
Most
versus
part-
2.
huh?
He's got the 2 versus 2. I mean, it's terrible.
Well,
I'd
I'm
go
not
out
going to
on
put
a
the
limb,
Cowboys
Brady.
in just because you're a fan of them, Sam.
well, did you notice Sam's response when I said, I don't see the Ravens beating the Bengals? And he was like, I know. And then I was like, and then I said, and same thing with the Cowboys beating the Eagles. And he was like, well, crazier things have happened. Like,
Hey, you can
Like a
critique
Wow.
true
mine when we
fan.
get to mine.
Like a true fan. Don't let her talk down to you,
Yeah.
Sam. You know, in your heart, you know it.
crazier things have
In
happened.
all of our heads, it's something different, but in your heart, you know it.
That's right. Okay.
I
Well,
love
let's
how
get-
we're ragging on Sam and it's Brady's bracket.
Yes. That's okay.
It's just a funny reaction.
I'm a nice soft punching bag. But let's get on to the QB queen, our leader for the year. Jessica, let's take a look at this bracket. And my gosh, I'm surprised she didn't pick the Ravens. I know how much of a homer she can be.
Not
Surprising.
really.
She
But
picked
look
the
at
Cowboys
that.
too.
Man, look at that chalk. That chalk is everywhere.
Oh,
I
I
don't know
will
what that
say
means.
now that I can speak, if the Ravens had anyone else playing quarterback last week, I think they have more of a chance to win that game. So if Tyler Huntley does play in this game, I think there is a chance. The only one that really sticks out to me on this bracket Let's see. Is the Eagles getting past the Cowboys? I mean, I just gave Jalen Hurts his props, but the Cowboys, they looked really bad in the last week of the season, but they always play up to their opponents, it seems like. So, or their opponents play down to them, whichever one you want to pick. And that defense is really good. So,
Yeah, and you think about it. I mean, Jalen Hurts might be hurt coming
Yeah.
into that week, and because he was kind of hurt last week. Part of the reason why they barely won. But yeah, it's all chalk, just all chalk.
What
Tarek,
does that mean? That statistically speaking, this is the most accurate? 'Cause
yeah,
yes,
like the spread is going with
means
everything.
you picked the
picked.
So
one who
you're
would choose to
saying
make it all the
that
way.
computers and intelligence would choose this? That makes
So-
sense. Yeah, yeah.
So the only way it's good is if 6 and 6 go again, 6 and 7 go in the Super Bowl.
I'm gonna sit here and critique all of them. That's what I do.
But
So-
like I'm gonna say kind of the same thing as Brady's. Like most of this, I mean, I think some of my end results are actually quite similar to your guys. The Cowboys, after their performance in the last couple of games, especially Sundays, I don't see how they're gonna win against Tom Brady. To get against the Eagles.
It's wishful thinking and also, strategy, but
Yeah.
I don't see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers doing much at all.
No, but the Cowboys have to play better than what they did Sunday to play
True.
against a bad Tom Brady. So
True, but I think that they were pretty much. I don't think they were playing their whole plate. I don't think their hearts were really in last week.
no.
This week
Did I
they're
say,
ready to roll.
did I say the one I could potentially switch was San Francisco going to the Super Bowl?
You did.
Remember. The only
No,
other
no
one
switching. This isn't regular season. You can't
Oh, no,
switch at the
no,
last
I'm not.
second.
I'm sticking with this. But actually, I don't know.
She's a
But the
big fan of
only
the Purdy.
The only one well, no, the rest of the team is insane. But I could see Jacksonville upsetting LA also.
Speaking of,
So, all right. So, you ready to hit it? Ready? So look at this one.
Jacksonville.
Huh.
I mean, my
Okay,
goodness.
come on.
So Tarek basically had my
Mayhem.
alternate reality happening.
I was about to say,
Mayhem.
what
What
world are we
is
living in this where the Jaguars beat the Chiefs for one? Let's just look at that.
Did I say the Jaguars are beating the Chiefs? Let me double check what I texted you.
You
Also, I forgot about the Giants.
I was saying the Giants going through the Eagles.
I didn't even
Yeah.
see them.
Y'all
It could
gave me
happen.
crap about the Ravens winning one game, but Tarek's got the Giants going to the NFC Championship.
I think that one is a super long shot. Like,
I mean,
someone would
my
have to-
goodness.
Oh well.
He's going to need the Michael Jordan arm from Space Jam in order to get that one home because
Yeah. The entire first string would have to be out
Mhm.
with like some mysterious illness or something for the Eagles for that to happen.
Yeah, me.
I just
I think. I forgot they were even in the playoffs, to be honest.
I mean, my goodness. This is just-
I picked it. So Eagles, yeah, I figure they're gonna beat the Vikings pretty handily. Just going for an upset because we've seen it before, but
there's always a few upsets in the playoffs, but
Sorry, Eagles.
I still end up with the same
You're
result as
speedy,
Brady with 2
because-
versus 2. So
Because
Yeah, and that's believable.
that's the most believable thing on here. Yes.
I mean,
Well,
no, this one.
the other ones, like the
Giants.
Bills beating Miami and
This is Giants.
beating Ravens, and
oh yeah.
those are very believable.
The first round,
Eagles is
you can see
not
all that happen.
strong
I can
for the
absolutely see all that happen in the first round.
Yeah.
The second round is where things get a little nutty.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't. Some of me, I'm going like, what did I pick?
Like the
So,
Bills over Bengals, yeah, but Jacksonville over
Yeah,
The
Jacksonville over
Jaguars going to
KC.
the
I don't.
championship, baby.
Because what's going to happen is Patrick Mahomes is going to slip on his way out of the tunnel, and they have to start Chad Henne,
That's
and
what's
that's
gonna
what
have to
Tarek's
happen.
banking on. Is
If
he's
that
getting ready
happens,
to.
you're gonna be like,
Tarek's booking his ticket to Kansas City as we speak to go throw ice in front of Patrick Mahomes' changing room.
I got Nancy Kerrigan on speed dial.
There you go.
She's got a kneecaps.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. We're losing. We're just losing it here, folks. I mean, my goodness.
I just
What are we
killed
gonna do,
Brady.
What are we gonna do, Sammy?
In the,
I
in
don't
the
know,
year of our
because
Lord, 2023, I did
tie.
not think I was going to get a Nancy
Mm.
Kerrigan joke, and
Yeah.
I just have to applaud you,
Yes.
sir.
Just terrible.
Yeah, terrible, super terrible.
I guess if you guys want to see terrible, we'll take a look at mine. I'll let you guys dig into this
Yes.
one.
Am I gonna hit
Nope,
it?
this is Sammy's. Talk about not
Well,
chalk.
You know,
Wow.
I
yeah,
mean,
see,
it's not the craziest thing I've seen.
Thank
I
you. Thank
picked
you.
the Ravens.
Who else did you pick to make the Super Bowl?
according to Sam, crazier
The
things have happened.
Charger.
Well, you may pick these two teams. Ravens and who?
I don't know.
Seahawks.
Seahawks.
I don't know. Oh, Sammy.
And why did you pick the Seahawks?
Because they're mommy's
Because
team.
he's got more than Ravens.
Nope, wrong.
No, because it's mommy's favorite team.
Hmm?
My surprise on this one is that he picked the Cowboys to win in week 1 of the playoffs.
That is true. He never picks the
He
Cowboys.
doesn't.
He
I'm a
even
little
said on
concerned.
Sunday, he's
But
like,
he
no, I don't like
doesn't.
the Cowboys.
He's giving you one, Sam, so they better not disappoint.
I'm concerned that he picked the Cowboys.
So I
'cause he
picked
never
the
picked the
Ravens
Cowboys.
as one.
You're gonna have to go back through the weeks and watch how many times he picked against the Cowboys, compare win-loss ratios. Of
Yeah, I
those
was just
where he's
thinking
gotten
that.
right.
Your son may have just saved your playoff career.
Maybe. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I like the brazenness, the balls on this boy.
Mm.
See that look Jessica's giving, like, what?
Mm-mm. No,
Jessica, you don't like the balls on this boy?
no, I don't.
That's family. That's family.
All right, Vin
Wait.
Diesel, calm down.
No. Come on, Jessica. It's family.
Move on,
Come
Sam.
on now. Why are you talking
Next
I
about?
think I
slide,
have the
please.
title for the video.
All right, the balls on
no.
that boy. Is that the title?
Yeah.
All right.
Veto.
You're
All right.
vetoing my title?
All right, now you get to dig into mine. So, bon appetit.
Oh. I had a feeling that's where that was going.
Yep. There it is.
Oh my God.
There
You
it is.
called me a homer.
So he picked the Cowboys.
You
All
gotta
right.
go bold.
I should have
Okay.
just put like
It's
had
the
you superimposed the
Cowboys.
Broncos, just making it in regardless of fact. they will.
AFC, totally plausible. I can see
Because
that.
he did not.
Then you look
the
at the NFC,
Ravens.
and it's like looking into Bizarro World. It's just, what's the craziest thing that
Because
could
the
happen over here?
Ravens
Let's
got-
do it.
Look out.
Is it?
If he had the Vikings beating the Giants,
I would agree more with that, but the Giants winning against the Vikings, I still think is outlandish.
Oh, Sam.
I mean, they lost by 3 points in the regular season to the Vikings, a team that's been shut down by good defenses. And I don't believe in Brock. I don't believe Brock Purdy. I believe Brock Purdy buckles under the pressure in the divisional round. That's the only reason why I picked him to get past.
But you don't think that Dak Prescott is not just going to get absolutely demolished by that defense?
He could, but crazy things happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
only when it counts for the Cowboys, but San Francisco is not going to be playing some like balls out, throwing all over the place kind of game. That's not how they play.
There's
They're an
that balls.
extreme
I know.
defensive game.
that's
team.
definitely the name of this video is balls.
Balls out.
Don't look at me.
Yeah,
like
balls out.
Balls out.
Yeah.
Love the balls on this boy.
Please, God, no. But San Francisco is a like ground and pound, like really physical team, and they're not going to be. I don't know why you're so focused on Brock Purdy. They just need a butt in a seat, kind of, a
Butt or balls?
helmet on a dude that can kind of throw the ball sometimes, and listen to the coach who plays safe football.
Somebody who can be in there and handle those balls.
Yep.
I agree with Jess, though. I mean, we talked about this when he first when he took over, was that team around him is so good. They just need a guy to kind of hike the ball and, not throw it to the other team. So I don't know. The Cowboys defense is good, but San Fran's defense is that much better. But yeah, the Giants, no. Sorry, Brian. and other Giants fans that may be watching this, I'm sorry. No.
Yeah, so you're talking about what is that? The number one defense in the league, and their offense is definitely ranked higher than the Cowboys. So again,
No, it's not.
statistically, their offense is not ranked better than the
Cowboys
Cowboys.
have more points per game than the San Francisco 49ers.
Bruh. I have to double check that one.
They do. Cowboys are number 2 in the league. Kansas City is number 1.
Okay. Well, I don't think that's right.
San Francisco is 6th in points per game on offense, 5th
See?
in yards. Yeah, so they're right there on the top on that side too.
Okay, so a really good offense and the best defense, and you think they're going to get taken out by the Cowboys?
Crazy
Two.
things happen.
Yeah, but look at how the Cowboys are playing. They're wildly inconsistent. Yeah, they can score 50 points in one game, but they also can throw 7 picks
What happened last
in the
year?
next game. I don't know. I don't remember, man. I barely
The
remember.
Rams made it to the playoffs with a very inconsistent quarterback throwing picks all the time, getting into the playoffs, and they
Not
still won the Super
inconsistent,
Bowl.
actually. He was
He
very
was very
consistent in being terrible in the first half of the season and very consistent in being good in the second half.
Not really. He
But
still
yes,
threw
he did throw a lot of
2
picks.
picks a game almost.
Well, this year in the NFL, we're not batting an eyelash unless it's 3 or more per game,
True.
especially
Agreed.
us Ravens fans
Yeah, well,
and
Whoops.
Cowboys.
I'll tell you what, I'd have picked the Ravens if the Ravens had Lamar in.
I thought if the Ravens had Lamar, the Ravens were maybe like 40 to 50% chance.
I,
That was my final call, was whether or not Lamar was playing, and the fact he hasn't practiced and everything.
the last thing I'll say on this, because I'll go on a tangent here, is that if the Ravens offense hadn't consistently put the defense in bad positioning with those 3 turnovers, the game would have been a lot closer because the Bengals offense was not doing anything.
But
So,
I think the Bengals offense was not what it normally plays like, especially in the end of the season.
Yeah.
Is this a
Well,
crazy bracket?
The Ravens defense just hasn't been what it was supposed to be, what we're
This is a
usually
crazy
known
bracket.
for this year. Because the first,
but
the first half of the season, how many times was Ravens up by 3 touchdowns, and then the defense couldn't hold the other offense. So
First half of the season, the Ravens defense was really bad. Since bringing in Roquan Smith, it's really done like a 180, and that's the only good part of our team right now. And our run game, which when we have Dobbins out, it's not really great. And Greg Roman making those dumb calls that he's making, not great.
that's the number one problem right there.
All right.
All right.
Don't forget to like
All right.
and subscribe
Nice short episode.
channel.
Hope you all enjoyed it. Hope you all enjoyed this season. Thank you so much for watching. We had a blast doing this.
Yeah,
Get ready for some playoffs. We'll see some of these crazy games.
yeah. You're
See
gonna.
whose crazy
Are
picks
you
are
ready to
crazier and
watch
actually
the
work.
movie?
Sammy, shush, it's my time. But thank you so much. Click that like button. Keep that pillow on your head. Click subscribe. See you again in about 3 weeks for the Super Bowl. And see who actually is more correct there. As always, I'm Terry.
Yeah.
I'm
let
Jess.
it start.
I'm football Jesus.
Who are you?
Damn.
And I am Big Sam. And you have a great football week.
Yeah. Are you ready to watch a movie?